Hey guys, welcome to my channel. It's Angel the Psych NP. The first week, I kind of talked to you guys about that first day that COVID-19 hit the emergency rooms in the United States. The second video, I kind of talked to you about 1 week out from, that first day. So now we're 1 month out from the first day we realized, and let me tell you, things have really hit the fan. We're quarantined now. We can't go outside unless it's an essential errand. And I've talked to people in New York at this time. I wasn't currently in New York. I talked to people out there. My nurse co-workers out there completely going crazy. They're telling me like patients they have this BiPAP mask. So for those of you who don't know what a BiPAP mask is, it's almost the equivalent to if you stick your head outside of a car and you going 40 miles per hour, how that wind will be hitting your face. That's kind of like what the BiPAP mask is. Can you imagine what that feels like to have that on your face 24 hours a day? One of my coworkers told me that she was in a nurse's station. A patient was just like giving her like a hard time because he didn't want to wear the mask. He was tired of the mask. It was giving him anxiety. He just was pacing around the room. And she was trying to get some orders from the doctor, like to do something different for him because he wasn't gonna last with that mask on. He was threatening to take it off, and she kept telling him, don't take that mask off. If you take that mask off, your saturations are already this. And the saturations, for you, those of you who don't know, it's the oxygen levels in your body. And it wasn't already at a high number where it should be, considering he was on the BiPAP mask. So she was telling him, don't take it off. While she's in a nurse's station, she hears like the alarms going off. He had taken it off. And she's running down there. When she got down there, he was already on the floor, dead. Can you imagine, like, mentally as a nurse, what you're going through when you just have patients that are dropping dead like that around you? It's not good. Me, myself at the time, I used to use, during that time, I used to watch a lot of news from Cuomo, the New York governor, because I felt like he was one of the people that was kind of keeping it real during this whole thing about what's happening, what's really going on. New York is in quarantine now. The numbers in New York are steady increasing, 600, 700 deaths daily. What we were looking forward to based on science was this peak that was supposed to happen. The numbers were going up and we were looking for it to go like this and then back down. That's all we really had to look forward to. That's what was guiding us this whole time during the pandemic. So the peak would never come. Like every day I turned on the news, I'm like, are we at the peak? Are we at the peak? No peak. Just numbers going up, people dying. And I'm speaking for the medical professionals right now. You isolated from your family. You watch people just die left and right in the hospital. The only little thing you're looking forward to is the peak to happen, and it's not happening. I am currently a nurse lead at a COVID testing site. I have a coworker that was in New York with me, and she's now working at this testing site with me. She has PTSD as a result of being out of New York. We have generators on the testing site, and she would tell me how the generators reminded her every time she walks past them. She thinks about the refrigerated 18-wheeler trucks that they had outside of New York, outside of the hospital, because the morgues were over flooding, and they had to bring in these trucks to keep bodies cold while, because so it was just so many. So that generator reminds her of that truck every time she walks past it. I'm like, girl, you need to get you some therapy. She's like, oh, I know I'm gonna do it. She ain't got no therapy yet, but we all need to be looking into some therapy. We have to let go of this stigma that if we go see a therapy, something wrong with you, you crazy. If that's what it takes, then be crazy. Let something be wrong with you, but go see a therapist. So, as a medical professional, not only are we quarantined, but now our family members have COVID. Some of them are passing away. Some of our nurse co-workers have COVID. Some of them are passing away. These are our sisters that are, that are passing away from this virus. We signed up to help take care of people, not to die trying to take care of people. That's what I ain't signed up to be no hero. But I'm here, and I guess we're performing as heroes, but that ain't really what I signed up for. I don't wake up in the morning trying to go to the hospital with the intentions on catching the virus and being like, okay, I'm gonna be heroic because I caught. No, I want to live. Where do you find some peace in all this? What do you do to find some peace in all this? One thing I did, I continued my therapy that I was already getting from the panic attacks that I was having a little bit pre-COVID. But I continued with my therapy when I could have stopped because I was already kind of getting better with that. But I continued because I was done with the panic attacks, but my anxiety was through the roof. I started reading Bible plans, on anxiety and fear, because I don't know about y'all, but I know where to go at when I'm feeling uneasy, even when I'm feeling okay. But I was really, in my book, the Bible that is, trying to find some peace and comfort in God to get through this because the world wasn't giving me any. Another thing I did, I turned off my phone. The reason I would turn off my phone is because when you're a nurse, I don't care if you clip a toenail and you crack it a little bit and you bleed, somebody calling you to ask you what to do, how to do it. And I didn't have the answers for anybody on how to treat COVID or take care of COVID. I just had the basics. Take some Tylenol, keep checking your fever, high dose vitamin C, get you some zinc, get up out that bed. I had that type of stuff. But people, when you have that virus, you want something more, because everybody around you dying from it. So now I got it. That stuff you telling me don't sit well with me. I'm looking for something that is a sure thing. Even though that was a sure thing, but you gotta process it from somebody who's actually sick with a virus, and all over the media, people dying from the same virus. They're not thinking clearly. They're just there is panic. It's fear. So I turned my phone off because I needed peace from that, because I couldn't take care of everybody mentally with that, because mentally I wasn't doing okay. But I did the best I can. Another thing we have to do is we have to take social media breaks. You got to. Social media, in one hand, it can be good. I see a lot of people got businesses and millionaires from social media, but it could be very toxic. Once upon a time, we would only see the news from our local communities. Now, or if something big happened, you would see it, in another, something big happened, you would see it from another state or around the world or whatever. But now through social media, you stroll and you stroll and you stroll on these blog pages, and all this stuff coming across your page about people killing their children, murder, suicides, all kind of things. That stuff is toxic for you to keep strolling and strolling and strolling. And you may not think it's subconsciously staying there, but it's there. So in the midst of a pandemic, and you strolling your social media and you seeing all this stuff, you are processing that unknowingly. It could be causing you some issues. You probably can't sleep right. When you can't sleep at night, you don't wonder why. It could be all that stuff you process is just is subconsciously keeping you up. Take social media breaks. Use that screen time report to cut down on your social media. If your screen time report is 17 hours a week and you don't have no business on social media or something like that, that's entirely too long. Think of something productive you could do with that. All these things will help you decrease your anxiety, possibly your depression, or anything that you're going through, overwhelmed or being stressed. We got to cut back on that toxicity that we putting in our heads from the media, the news, and all that, because they control all that. So I will have more tips to help everybody get through this pandemic. So like, subscribe, turn on the notification buttons. I'm Angel, the Psych MP. We will get through this mental demic.